crib after these technical difficulties.
Man, our viewing audience don't know nothing about your technical difficulties.
Yeah, but
difficulties. He been drinking already. He misplaced it.
Oh,
hey man,
he started early.
I'm not fighting with y'all tonight. I'm not gonna do it. Hey, Mel, did you want to introduce Titani after the introduction? How you want to do it?
Yeah, we're gonna do our introductions first and then introduce her last.
All right. So real quickly, and the only person that hasn't done the show before is my man Inyatu. So I'm gonna have you go last, and everybody else that's been on the show before, we're just gonna run through it real quick, give a brief introduction, and then Inyatu, I want you to introduce yourself. You can say how you ended up on the show, all that good stuff. But let's start with JR. And then we'll go JR, Mel, Glenn, me, and Yatu, and then we'll have Mel intro Titani. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
All right.
That sounds good.
JR?
All right. What's going on, everybody? Jose Santiago, hanging out with my man at the Man Cave and the beautiful Titani Harris. And it's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, we're always glad to have you, man. Always glad to have you. Actor, all around good guy, great personality. Glad to have you, man. Always glad to have you. Mel Rob.
Appreciate you.
Now, see, y'all, I leave the show for 1 week. Y'all change the order. New people always introduce themselves first. Now we done changed the order and how it goes.
There's no, I guess I'm gonna fight with y'all all night tonight. There's no order.
There is no order. Everything has to be decent and in proper order.
Right, so changes we made.
You still gotta go now, whether you want to or not. You still gotta go.
That's fine. Well, I don't have to do nothing now. Ladies and gentlemen,
drinking.
But I haven't even started drinking yet. For the sake of the show and its credibility,
whose page do we go to share it?
NDTV and Yatu. It's on ND.TV.
Okay,
and
cool.
then you can share it. Yeah.
Let me know when y'all done, and I'll introduce myself.
You funny, man.
Here we go.
My name is Mel Roberson. I'm not going to go through my professional stuff because we are in the man cave right now, and I'm relaxed. So I do a bunch of stuff professionally, but today I'm just a young man from 78th and Colfax in the inner city of Chicago. And if Sean keeps provoking me, that's going to come out a lot tonight. Thank you.
He showed
no desire to
He's showing out for company. He's showing out for company. That's what he's doing. You know how that works.
This ain't nothing new, brother. You already know.
Glenn Murray.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining live from the cave. My name is Glenn Murray, one of the producers on the show. One half of G Rose Productions, 220, 100% of 220 Publishing, and a few other things. Thank you all for joining, and thank you all for sharing the show too. I just wanted to shout out. So there's a lot of people that have been sharing our show and talking about it. So please share this with your friends. We all enjoy doing this. We love the conversation. We love the interaction. We have amazing guests, just like we do tonight. But thank you all for that. On a serious note, that's probably as serious as I get tonight. That's all you get.
Yeah, because you left off how you really the low-key troublemaker.
I am so innocent.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm Sean Mason. I've been honored to be the host of this show for the last 14, 15, 16 weeks, something like that. It's been a blast. The show was in existence before I came aboard, and fortunately they tapped me to join them, and we've been having a ball. I'm a local singer, blogger, professional photographer. Like we said last week, I do stuff and I drink whiskey. That's and Yatu Marvel.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yes. So glad to have you, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you landed here on the show, all of that.
So glad to be here. My name is Inyatu Marvel, hailing from Chicago. I'm a published author, I'm an investor, and I'm a Black love enthusiast, right? And a Black man. By the grace of God, I met this brother Sean doing a podcast with my good friend, Cabril Briati. And, I enjoyed it very much. I enjoy his perspective very much. And because he's a positive Black man, he reached right out to me and said, hey, man, come jump on the podcast so we can keep doing the good work and keep the good conversation going. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to meet the rest of the fellas. Can't wait to add y'all. as Facebook friends, and let's build.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I gotta say, you know, I was immediately impressed with just your position, your mindset, your mentality. And right away, I thought you would be a good guest for the show. And then I got to give you a greeting, man. I found out that we have a mutual friend in Alice Buford, who I talked to earlier today. So she told me to make sure, man, I give you some love. She had nothing but great things to say about you, which did not surprise me. And so, yeah, man, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do and making sure that you get that love from my girl, Alice Buford. So
yeah, she texted me and told me, family friend, known her since I was like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Great person. So yeah, you know, but it doesn't surprise me.
Amazing lady, amazing lady.
Come together, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I actually, well, I won't give that away. But the person who's coming on next, I know them too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard her speak to you. Actually, I heard her speak to you in the exchange. So, speaking of her, Mel, why don't you introduce Titani and give us some insight and tell us why she's in the man cave of all places?
Thank you for your blessings, Godfather. I've known Titani Harris for golly, I don't even know how long it's been, sis. Well, over a decade now. It's been a minute.
I know, right?
This young lady is a beautiful soul, a beautiful human being. But the reason that she was invited to the show tonight is because last year I participated in an event she does called the TMH Man Cave. She is a mental health professional and specializes in mental health for Black men. And it's so needed in our society. It's something that we don't talk about. It's something that a lot of us shy away from. I think therapy is the new sexy, personally. And if we didn't have such a solid friendship, she would be my therapist. But, you know, for ethical reasons, I can't go to her. You know what I'm saying? So with no further ado, and this is not something that happens. This is when women never come to the cave. We've had Yanni once, and now Titani. So
hey, you're the second in 14 weeks that I know of. 14 to 15 weeks.
Yeah. So if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and the event that you have going on at the end of the month, that would be amazing.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you, gentlemen, for having me. I feel honored. So thank each of you for sharing your platform with me. Thank you, Mel, for the invitation and giving me this opportunity. So my name is Titani Harris. I am a psychotherapist, certified balanced living coach, author, and speaker. I am the owner of TMH Behavioral Services, which is a group mental health private practice here in Chicago. I have a team of 13 clinicians, and we service men, women, and children, providing individual therapy, family therapy, couples counseling, and parenting classes. And so right now our services are only being offered virtual. I'm also the creator and founder of TMH Man Cave, which is a not-for-profit I created to eliminate the stigma and bring awareness to the mental health needs of Black men. So I created TMH Man Cave because in my work as a psychotherapist, I noticed that the men that I was working with were struggling with some of the same issues, whether it was relationships, childhood trauma, work-life integration. I thought, like, why not create a space where men can just be amongst other men to talk about everyday topics? So part of TMH Man Cave, I have two programming options. I have my event series, which is coming up on October 17th. It'll be our 2-year anniversary. And so that's what we'll discuss everyday topics. And this year's theme is examining the life and times of the Black man in 2020. So we'll be talking about all things 2020 and Black men. And then another programming option we have is our online wellness group, which is more like a supportive therapy group that I offer for free monthly. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what TMH Man Cave is. Like I said, the event is happening on October 17th. We have some amazing panelists. We have Dr. Bryce Radford out of Minnesota. We have Bashay Williams, who is a licensed clinical social worker out of Philadelphia. And we have Clark Robinson, who is the Vice President of Diversity and Equity at UCAN. So, and we're also going to be moderated by Fred Long. Shout out to Fred Long, my executive director. So I'm just looking forward to it. I also want to highlight that TMH Man Cave also has an advisory council of all men. So I often get the question like, why is a woman doing TMH Man Cave? And I always say, why not, right? And why, I always somebody always asks, like, why Black men? I always say, Black men are the leaders of our communities. And from where I stand, if you guys are good, we're good. I feel like our healing starts with you all. So this is why my focus is Black men. And also, not as a psychotherapist, but as a daughter, as a sister, as a Black woman who loves Black men, I just think this work is just so important. So I thank you guys for just having me.
Well, we definitely appreciate that and appreciate you. And I've attended when the world was open up, actual live event.
Yes.
And the ability for her to create this safe space for us to talk about things that we might not. I mean, there was brothers in there. We were laughing, we were crying, we were talking about all types of stuff. Not only that, this sister fed us. Like, this was a free event, and she came out of her pocket with a spread. You know what I'm saying? Like food,
music, libations,
music. There were
hey, that's what Mel
there were adult beverages.
The raffle. So I'm a little disappointed because, like Mel said, the TMH Man Cave is different in person. So I like to call it an interactive experience. So it's a free event. Like Mel said, I don't charge for it because this is like my life's work. And so there's food, there's libations, there's a music. I do a raffle at the live event where I raffle off gift cards. I raffle off 2 free therapy sessions for guys to take it. They can either use it or give it away. I have mental health, culturally sensitive resources for men to take away from them to address their mental health needs. And the Man Cave, any guy can attend the TMH Man Cave. I just focus on Black men. So any guy can attend, just no women allowed. So any male can attend the TMH Man Cave, but the focus is Black men.
So Jose, our Puerto Rican brother.
Yes, Jose, yes. You're more than welcome to attend.
Latino brother, you can come.
Yes, you guys are, you're more than welcome. I always say, like, it's a Man Cave, but yes.
Well, Titani, before you make your way out of here, I'm sure I speak for all the gentlemen on here that say we love you for loving us. We need to be loved and need to feel that love and need to be affirmed, particularly by you. And so I feel safe in saying that we really, really appreciate that work, because a lot of us are deficient in the ability to speak what we need. And so the fact that you are proactive in seeing that need and then addressing it for us and giving us a platform to be vulnerable and be open, and like Mel was saying, to cry and laugh and do all of that, we need to take it however we can get it. And I appreciate you being a vehicle for us to do that.
Thank you. Did
the production team put her?
Thank you so much.
Production team put her stuff in the air. Yeah, okay.
Please share. Guys, just register at tmhmancave.com. I'm super excited. We're going to be celebrating 2 years. We're also going to be raising funds, because also part of this is I want to be able to provide affordable therapeutic services for men, like where they want individual couples therapy, group counseling. I want to be able to provide those services at a low cost to free rate. So that's one of my goals long term for TMH Man Cave. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Titani, please keep in touch.
Smart and drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, I picked up on both of those variables, Mel. I really did.
Okay, back to business, fellas. Titani, please let us know how we can support you in the future.
Titani, thank you so much.
Thank you. Just share the flyer. Just share the flyer for the upcoming October 17th event. Share. It's going to be virtual. So I want to get at least 100 men online that day. It's only 1 hour and 15 minutes. So if you guys can just share the flyer, share the website, have guys register so we can get those 100 men on and celebrate the Black man of 2020. I'm excited. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sis. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. That's awesome work, man. Because I know we all know that I've noticed it to be a big thing that those in need of attention from a mental health standpoint are often those who cannot afford it. And so that's an amazing work that she's doing. And so I hope that we can collectively, man, champion her and maybe have her come back, Mel, and give us some feedback and reports on progress and that kind of thing. I think that'd be a great idea as well. So, all right. So interesting week this week, man. A whole lot went down. And before we get going, I want to give some love to one of my best friends. I'm always talking about my platonic friends, and one of my best friends that I mention all the time on here, Latanja Howe. She lost her dad this week, and so I want to give some love to her and that family, Joseph Brown's family, and let them know that we're thinking of them and praying for them, and knowing that it'll all be all right. I got to run up to Muskegon, Michigan, in a couple of days, and do my part as a friend of that family. So we love you and we're thinking about you. Yeah, man, big week this week, man. A whole lot of stuff. Stuff is still going down, but let's talk about this debate first, man. What you guys think about the debate, man?
There was a debate?
There was a debate.
Well, you can call it that. It was a shit show is what it was, but
it's been a low news week. I don't think anything's going on. I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, because I got married and divorced and remarried.
No, it was a shit show.
Nobody even said anything. Nobody came, nothing.
Congratulations. Well, it's Mel's birthday week, so it's hard for us to concentrate on more than one thing. So
when is your birthday, Nuke?
Yeah.
Wednesday.
I think what you say is karma is real, because a certain person went on a rant about other people wearing masks too much and masks being too big, and then in true fashion.
Yeah, man.
The chickens.
Yeah, man. Karma's real, man, and I'm trying to remain humane about it. But yeah, man, that's JR, I'm gonna let you speak first because I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive to JR and your position and your standing. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna give you the floor first. So you can share what you might want to share. I don't want you to feel like you're getting ganged up.
I'll tell you what. Well, that was a shit show, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never seen two dummies on one stage at the same time.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, vote for this, vote for that. Man, you're gonna vote for the lesser of two evils. They both idiots. First of all, I didn't believe in it, but you know what? To each their own. People have the right to vote for whoever they want, man. And you can't change it. Don't try to bully nobody. Don't try to project your views on somebody. Let them vote who they want. They got the constitutional right. But I didn't know what the hell. I'd rather watch Batman and the Penguin.
Yeah. Your signal is real bad, JR. So I don't know if you might want to, move to a different spot in the house or what. But I will say this, man. I said all day that I wasn't going to watch it. I don't make any bones about the fact that I abhor.
I didn't watch it at all.
I abhor the current president. I don't make any bones about it. Make any apologies for it. I'm an old man. I can like and not like who I want to. But I thought I would give it a few minutes and try to see if I could tolerate it. And I cut it on, walked back and forth a little bit. It was probably 10 minutes in, man, before I changed the channel. I was, if you already know this dude is a bully, he has no tact. And if Chris Wallace wasn't going to try to manage that, it was going to be way too frustrating for me. I was like, I'm not going to let these guys get my blood up because this dude isn't going to corral this guy. So yeah, I cut it off, man. And, I was content to watch the comments and people's, social media threads afterwards, Glenn, what did you think about it? I'm really interested in hear what you thought about it.
We can't hear you, Glenn.
Can't hear you, Glenn.
Sorry, I was talking about y'all on mute. And I forgot to I'm back now, though. That's what I do. Every now and then, I'll be like, what the hell is Sean talking about? No, I was reluctant to watch it at first, but I decided to do it. There was nothing that I gained. There was no new knowledge gained from watching that 90 minutes. No. Whatever you want to call it. And I get that. And like Jose said, everybody is free to vote for who you want to vote for. That is your American right. If you're trying to suppress my vote, though, you're criminal. It's criminal to try to suppress votes and try to figure out to do all of that. So there's a lot of that going on. And the conversation devolved into that. And I had a problem with that. As far as, and also, when we talk about rights and freedoms and everything, people are free to wear masks. So to make a joke about it and argue about it, but then talk about don't tread on my freedom makes you look stupid. because you can't ask me to
Right.
support your freedom to not wear one, but then you criticize my freedom to wear one. So to make a joke out of it, and I don't even know, and I don't know that it's karma. I think this, it's just plain stupidity. That's, you catch it because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. If you're listening to somebody who, whose science, their level of science is going to the drugstore and filling a prescription out at Walgreens versus a doctor, then you're going to get what you get. And that's what happens. So that's what I thought.
I'm not sure that he has it.
Yeah, I was going to address that piece too, Mel, but go ahead and talk to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure that he has it. Let me go back to the debates first. I really didn't watch it. The little bit that I did see, I thought it was a Christmas movie because they look like the heat miser and the snow miser.
Did you post that? Yeah, I think. Was that you that
posted
did
post that?
Dude, that was hysterical.
I thought it was the heat miser and the snow miser, man.
I'm Mr. Heat Miser. That was my favorite song.
Break the song out, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like Jose said, the lesser of two evils is still evil. At the end of the day,
Right.
I think any politician on
Just
either side of it, really, even the independents getting an independent in office is a completely different topic. But both parties, the dominant parties for the past whatever hundreds of years, at the end of the day, they care about the super wealthy. They don't care about us. And when I say us, it doesn't matter your skin tone. If you are not rich, they don't care about you.
No.
And that's pretty much it. So like, I'm not wasting my time, you know what I mean, with a whole bunch of stuff. Yes. Do I believe that it's important? Absolutely. Your right to vote is important. What our ancestors went through to get us the right to vote is important, so forth and so on. Trump's legacy will be felt for years with all of the judicial appointments that he's made. Now with RBG not being there, you know what I mean? And them trying to rush to get somebody in that seat, so forth. So what, this is like 3 Supreme Court justices? Like, yo, that's
consequential. That's a consequential presidency.
Yeah. That's correct.
So,
before I hear from
that's gonna leave a mark.
Before I hear from Inyatu, man, I'm gonna say again, man, if you broke and black voting for this dude, I really don't get it. If you're broke and a person of color and you're voting for this dude, I don't get it. You are living someone else's life. You have decided that someone else's life is championing yours and your reality because you are not somebody that is on his radar in terms of who he wants to look out for. And Yatu, talk to me, man. What do you feel about it?
I didn't watch the debate.
I didn't either, man.
I wasn't interested. But ultimately, he handled his own health the way he handled all of ours. He took it for a joke.
Wow.
And here we are as a country, and here he is as a president. So I respect people's right to vote. I respect people's right to feel like whichever candidate is best for them, that they can vote for that person. But my advice to everybody, no matter who you're voting for, is have a plan B that is going to move you through life no matter who the president is, right? Because bottom line, if you think either one of those people are your savior or our savior or even the savior of this country, you're sadly mistaken. So, it's going to be some BS one way or the other. It's going to be some BS one way or the other.
Please pay attention to local politics.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. That's what we're not talking about. We think about the 3 Supreme Court justices because that seems like the biggest thing. But I think he's put in 90-something circuit
over
court.
120.
Over 100, and they've all, and not one of them has been black. I know that.
202.
And that's about manipulating.
202 federal appointments.
Thanks, Chantel.
Wow. Yeah, so that's about manipulating the voting process and redlining and things of that nature too. So, we got something really dangerous going on in this country. But at the same time, it's causing people to speak out. It's causing people to rebel. It's causing people to do things that I've never seen in my lifetime. in this country or even in the world, the way the protests spread. And I think that's dope. So sometimes you got to regress to make some progress. So,
hey man, I think right now among 30s, 40s, 50s, and I don't know this to be a statistic, is just what I believe. I believe now, man, the political acumen of people of color is higher than it's ever been, because we're now really, really trying to, as a collective, put our ear to the ground and figure out what's going on and be a part of what's going on. And so if that's a good thing that came out of this, then, I say, yeah, yay for that, because I know a whole lot of people that, 4 or 5 years ago weren't voting, didn't know much about it. And now they on CNN all day, every day, trying to become educated, man. So, and I want you to know, I'm still in that line that he handled our health the way he handled his. I just want you to know I'm still in.
That is the line of the night already.
Yeah, the first time.
Oh, yeah.
The rule is, hey Mel, ain't it a rule? The first time I use it, I got to give you credit. But after that,
it's yours.
That's the preacher rule.
I use that rule all the time.
yeah, first time I use it, I got to give you credit. But after
Hey,
that,
Sean,
Right.
Sean, you said
Probably
something.
stole that from somebody.
Reverend Kev, right?
Yeah, he did. He
Pastor
stole it.
Kev. I stole it from Pastor Kev. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, Sean, you said something about, if you're African American, he doesn't care about you. But I think if you're below a certain poverty line, I think you just become a different race. And here's how.
Yeah.
Here's how to
That's
put
where
it
you're
in.
at. That's where you're at.
Yeah. Here's how to put it in perspective. Mitch McConnell has reconvened the Senate twice in the last 3 to 4 months to vote on judges, not to vote on a stimulus package, not to do anything to move forward any money for those people that are suffering, those first line of people, first responders, police, nurses, doctors, people like that, not to do anything for that, to approve more judges. He already has suspended any votes on the floor for the Senate, with the exception of to confirm the Supreme Court nominee, not to vote for the people. It's not about the people. So if you're poor, you're a whole different race. Welcome to this new race that you are. You are a new minority of a different kind. If you make below $75,000 in this country, you count a lot less to those people than you think you do. And I don't care what, you can be white as a sheet or dark as midnight or somewhere in between those two spectrums. You don't count to them. They are coming back to vote on judges. They're not coming back to vote on the fact that you've lost your job and been unemployed for the last 6 months. They're not coming back to vote for the fact that they can't even get you $600 a week. They won't even clear $600 a week to give to people who are out of work. They're not coming back to put your small business back. So my brother said it right. You need to have your plan B. Who's in office, no matter who's in office. Get your plan B together, and you should have your plan B or C too as well, because you just never know.
D, E, F.
Yeah. You need a 2-deep rotation of plans, like a football team. You need to be 2 deep at every position.
A
Right.
to Z.
Come on in,
A
y'all
to Z.
too.
Isn't it ironic that they think $600 a week is encouraging people not to go to work, right?
Yeah, somebody
Right.
actually. Yeah,
Not going to work, but yet they getting paid, and they really not.
Free healthcare and everything. They're about the biggest welfare recipients. Congress is one of the biggest recipients of free healthcare and welfare of anybody else, of anybody in the country.
Man, Lord knows that I don't want to spend the whole show talking about this dude, but but to Mel's point earlier, I'm not sure he even has the virus. And so I'd like to hear from you guys in regard to that, because, based on where his campaign is and how things are going for him, and based on the fact that he's just not to be trusted, I wouldn't be surprised if all this is a hoax, man, to somehow impact the campaign one way or another, because he's, behind in so many states and yada, yada, yada. What do you guys think about that? JR, I'm having a hard time hearing you, so I'm gonna let you go first, so that you can speak with anything that's going on. Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's see.
Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
You know what? He was a celebrity apprentice. Everything he does is for ratings. That's why he's always tweeting and tweeting. You know what? Instead of tweeting, why don't you run the damn country?
Boom. There it is.
Yeah, been saying that for a minute. And y'all too, what do you think, man?
And that comes from a man who worked for it. I worked for him as a chef.
Okay, I told people months ago.
I worked for that dude as a chef for 1 year in New York. I was a personal chef to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before all the Celebrity Apprentice bullshit.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Money?
He's a clown man. He's a bigger clown now.
Go ahead, and y'all too. What were you gonna say?
Right? Does he owe you any money? But no. I'm of the thought. I told everybody a few months ago they should watch the movie V for Vendetta, because what's going on in the country right now looks oddly similar to what's going on. So if it goes along that narrative, what will happen is he'll take some drug and be cured, and that'll be the cure, and then he'll be the savior, right, for his to become reelected the second term, and then he never gonna leave. He gonna change the title from president to dictatorship, and we already see the way he's trying to empower and mobilize the police force and the military to just do his bidding. And so it's all in alignment with V for Vendetta. I saw a tweet maybe 3 weeks ago that said he was going to get it, and then he was going to take whatever drug all his cronies invested in, bought stock in as the cure. And not only is it his plan to be reelected, but it's also a plan for another transfer of wealth to his friends.
Yeah. Let's switch gears, but stay in it. I know everybody didn't touch it, but I'm going to kind of stay in this vein, but just switch gears on the inside. Mel, what did you think about Stand By and that foolishness?
Take a deep breath.
What was it? Stand By and Stand. What was it?
Stand down and stand by.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Right.
I don't even think it was stand down. It was more like stand back.
Stand by. Stand by.
Stand back and stand by. Something. Yeah. But go ahead. Talk to me, man.
So at the end of the day, we live in a country where systemic racism has always been a thing, right? When we were no longer kept as property, there were things put in place to keep us in check. And the people that were the slave masters and the Klansmen slowly became the judges and the police force and all of these things. So that from an organizational structure, there are things in place that have kept people of color in a particular box. I think what this particular administration has done has ignited the outwardly racist as well as the secretive races, and basically told them what you think and what you do is okay. If that was not a call for some sort of race war and potential racial cleansing, I don't know what was. Like, that's not a slip of the tongue.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this dude is very strategic in what he says. And for the record, I'm not a Democratic or Republican Party enthusiast. You know, I got my qualms with Joe too, you know, and potential Vice President Harris. I got my qualms with both of them. So it's not like I'm like one side as opposed to the other. At the end of the day, what this really boils down to is us understanding, like, you can't turn a blind eye to this at this point. You know what I mean? You can't turn a blind eye to it, and you have to do whatever is necessary to protect yourself and your family and your well-being to live a long life. Because when
you got to try real hard to turn the blind eye to it. You got to really put in some effort.
But when they have somebody in quote unquote power saying stuff like that, you know, like, there's no responsibility. He takes no responsibility now. I don't even know who those guys are. Come on, bro. Come on. If you don't know who they are, why would you even say something to them?
But you know who Antifa is.
Know.
But you know who Antifa is.
I don't talk to people that I don't know. I don't give directions or orders to people I don't know or I'm not familiar with and not aware of. Right. So yeah, just y'all be real careful out there.
Hey man, you got to keep your head on a swivel, dude. That's like never before.
Always.
A head on the swivel
Stay
and
woke.
waist with a pistol.
Yeah, I am not my grandfather. So
Hey, but my grandfather was a fighter. I don't like
That's
those.
what I was about to say.
Don't
I
get me
am
on a
my
rant.
grandfather. He wasn't going.
Those we are not our ancestor shirts
Yeah.
are disrespectful because we had some ancestors that threw hands.
Hell,
We had
yeah.
some Nat Turners.
They
You
threw
know what I
bullets.
mean?
A lot of you
Right,
came
and
up from the
bullets,
north.
right.
A lot of you people that grew up in the north are because your ancestors killed somebody in the south and had to get away.
Exactly.
well, be clear. The point is, I will pull your ass out the window of your car at a red light. Is my point.
Right.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. It's 9:36, man, and I don't want to spend, even though we could, because I'm not done talking about that fool. But I don't want to spend the whole time, man, talking about that guy. So let's
Is it
switch
relationship
gears.
time?
It's
Relationship time.
and
Part of the show.
All right.
We need a little song. We need a little relationship song to come in. Like
right.
the show when it's time for something good, a good segment. Yeah.
I love you.
Like
because you understand my way. Oh.
Ladies, pull up a
Turn
chair.
my ceiling fan on. It's about to get hot in here.
Right. I want to get up and cut mine on, and I've been trying not to get up. Hey man, and I guess I'm gonna
get up.
Say
I'm
what?
drinking red wine.
If you got pants on, you can get up, bro.
Yeah, I got
no
pants.
on.
Unless there's something you need to share with us. Well, no, don't share that with us. As a matter of fact.
Right. And I hate that. Inyatu dropped out for a second because it was actually something that he said on the show that we were on together that got my attention so much that I wanted to follow up with him. And there was a lady on the show. I don't even recall her name. I wouldn't have mentioned it if I could. And Yatu, I'm talking about the show we did with Cabrillo and something that you said that actually was ultimately what made me follow up with you. But there was a young lady on there, and Yatu was basically there were two things, and I'll cover the second thing afterwards. But Inyatu is a little younger than me, and so he basically has the zeal I used to have.
Okay.
And so I will hear some foolishness now and just be like, okay, And I heard the foolishness, but Inyatu was not gonna let it ride. And he basically told the young lady, and he was 100% accurate. He said, you want to escape tradition while holding the men that want to get to know you to the fullest level of tradition that exists. And when I thought about it, I felt like, man, that is really a current that's running through the relationship dynamic as I understand it. I have come across a lot of women in the last 5 or 10 years that everything that they desire to do bucks tradition, but everything that they want from you is grounded in this old school tradition.
Right. And so you deserve a drink for that one.
Tradition, right?
Hey man,
that's two quotables in one night, brother.
Dude,
you done earn your way back on another episode with that one.
Dude, do you hear me? He dropped that thing and I wrote it down. I was in my notebook like I gotta find exactly what he said because I wrote it down. Dude, I was like, that's it right there. I could have got up and went to bed. I was like, yeah, that's it. But I wanted to hear from you guys on that, man. Whether you agree with that, if you've had experiences that support that. But I unequivocally say I've seen a lot of that in Yatu. And it's one of the reasons that I just got weary of the whole thing, Glenn, talk to me. What do you think about that?
What do you say? That kind of put the period on it. He was exactly right. Everybody wants you to follow the rules and be the total gent, if you will, while they skate around. So
Mel needs no branding assist.
I know.
All handled himself.
I dropped
no ego boosting for Mel. He's got this. He's got this shit.
Yeah, because and this show is case in point. Like when we first started this show, women were like, "Oh, you need to let me on here so I can rebut." I'm like, "It's called a man cave." Well, no, I need to come on and give a woman's point of view. We get your point of view like 7 days a week. I'm sorry, there's like 18
They had
shows.
Oprah. They had Oprah. They got Ellen. Leave us alone.
Yeah. I heard a young lady other night in a small group that I was in. You know, I love when I hear women brave enough to own the inconsistencies and own the, you know, the things that are one-sided or whatever. And she spoke to the fact that, you know, women are so able to be critical of men in every little area, but men are almost forbidden, you know, to be critical of women. And if you do, you know, look, I don't even know if I told y'all, but since I've been doing this show, dude, I've been accused of being gay. I've been accused of hating women.
Gay?
Yeah, man. Simply because, you know, I share my experience.
You don't buy drinks.
Huh? Because I don't buy drinks.
You don't buy drinks.
Women.
I don't even know if gay guys don't buy drinks. I don't know if that's a thing with them.
Hey, Sean, you want to cuddle?
That was good, JR. That was good.
That was nice.
Yeah, man. So,
you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. These females today, man, they want the perfect gentleman, but yet when you try to be a gentleman to these females, it doesn't matter. You could be doing what you know your grandfather and your father taught you, but it ain't good enough for them. So they want to criticize it, and then they want to be like, "Well, that's why I'm with a woman."
Hey, man, really? I'm not adverse to online dating, but I've read online dating profiles, man, where the babe wanted what I call the sixes. You know, 6 feet tall, six pack abs, 6-figure salary. Want you to do all this and all that, and then we'll make it plain. But I don't cook. I don't do, you know. And this was before the whole WAP movement.
I don't clean.
Here's what I want. Here's what I want, but here's what I won't give you.
Right. I'm like, you want a servant with a ding-a-ling is what you want. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Extra.
So, yeah.
I stand true to what I said. I see it throughout the culture. That's why I couldn't just let it slide when the young lady did it. It's so funny. I put up a poster of some spaghetti I made last week, and she jumped on like, I can order that. But I can't make that.
Right, because that's what she said. She was like, "Hey, I can call the food order in with the best of them. I might not be able to cook."
Right, but what I would like for, you know, everybody to understand or at least take a look at is, you know, science teaches us that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So the tradition of the man being the provider and the protector was there when women weren't working, right? That's where that stemmed from, right? You're going to take care of the home and I'm going to provide. Women, and I'm not saying they should not have, but they fought fiercely, right? To be able to get into the workplace, right? What is the equal and opposite reaction to that? Women are fighting fiercely, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't. They should be. So if they're going to be working, make as much money as us. But to think that
they no longer want to do tradition though once they turn that corner. Yeah, that's, you know.
And we gonna be the only ones spending money is it's somewhat ridiculous.
Dude, I've heard women tell me, I'm hoping that my husband can cook. I'm looking for a man that can cook for me.
Right. Right.
Okay, I'm gonna cut the grass and wash the cars and cook too. Okay.
Well, that has to do with that same action reaction thing. You know, you have
I cook my ass off though.
Yeah, but I can order mine off too, though. I can order really well.
So do I.
I do both.
Mel will cook on the show. And I cook too, because I'm single, and as you can see, I ain't missing no meals.
I'm single again.
Right.
I mean, I can cook, but
I'm single again.
Wow.
I can cook, but I don't want to be a chef. So no, I can cook. Yeah.
Yeah. Before I ran to my brothers, I had some salmon I was getting ready to get down with. You know, before I got invited to my brother, so I know how to keep myself fed, man. But
women, please, we're not talking about all women. I see the comments already. We're getting it. Not all women. You can hear
Right.
them.
Hey, I saw
applies to
it.
everybody.
On the internet.
And I definitely don't want, women to feel like we're women bashing anything. I just want people to take a look at that dynamic, that when you change things, you change things. And so it's just strange and unrealistic to complain about the change that you started that chain reaction. So I wonder, if you being more masculine, why are you shocked that some of the men are responding to that by being more feminine, right? And if you, as a man, if you bring in feminine energy to your relationship, you're gonna bring out more masculine energy in your woman.
Hey, or not even respond to it in a feminine way, but respond to it in a way that says that's not the feminine that I know and recognize and appreciate and have always thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, when I close my eyes, that's not what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And I'm sure for everybody, what it is that they seek exists. You know what I'm saying? But
the real woman.
yeah, but when it doesn't look the way you're accustomed to it looking, I don't think there's anything wrong with you standing firm and saying, "Hey, that's not, the way I want it, and not what I'm looking for." Mel, you look I don't know what, I don't even know how to describe it. You came out of your hat like, usually I can tell whether you got something brewing or what, but
Well, I think everything is a matter of preference, right? So it's all in what you're comfortable with and who you want to explore life with. Like the brother said, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I grew up in a situation where, because of where I grew up, my father was like, look, once my younger brother was born, he was like, you take care of the crib, I'll take care of the money. You ain't got to worry about working no more. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She raised us because in the neighborhood we lived in, we needed that. Like, I got shot outside my own crib my senior year in high school. That's where the area I grew up in. And I had great parents, right? So that dynamic was there. And they always say, well, to a certain degree, since you want somebody like your mom, but the world has evolved and changed. And the dynamic of what it takes to be financially stable to a certain degree or extent in the Black community has changed. It used to be where my dad, as a blue-collar worker, as a steel mill laborer, had the ability to provide for his family and what the cost of living was. In some situations right now, depending on what the person's passion is, especially, you might need both incomes in order to survive. If one person's a social worker and the other one's a teacher, you know what I mean? And we know both of them, for the most part, are not bringing in a ton of money, but what it costs to, especially if you have children, to raise that type of family takes some type of a collaborative effort financially in order for that to happen. So when that does happen, figuring out the dynamics and responsibilities of what the relationship is, what each party brings to the table, and how they work that out is going to be different. You know what I mean? Because if she busting her butt all of this time and I'm busting my butt all of this time, and we both tired by the time we get home, we might have to alternate on cooking. We might have to alternate on, what some of the duties are and all of that.
Absolutely.
Sharing the responsibilities.
But it starts with a mentality. It starts with a mentality like that. That's receptive to that. I remember a couple of summers ago, and shout out again to my girl Tom, who lost her dad. This was something that she shared with me. I was pursuing a young lady, and at the time I was making about $45K a year, and the young lady was probably making about 40. And she shot me down solely on the amount of money I made. And my girl was like, she's a dummy because together y'all got 85. And I remember thinking, that's the mindset that you want, but unfortunately not a lot of people see it that way.
She asked you how much you make?
No. She just knew that I wasn't balling out like that.
Women have a chart. Women have a chart based off what you look at. There's an app that they can pull up and kind of assume. No, I'm just playing.
Let's not say. Like I agree with what Mel said.
There's an app for that.
People got to customize their situations. I'm not against traditional relationships. I'm against people saying that they're traditional when they're the total opposite of that.
Right.
Expecting from someone else. So
people will tell you, they will tell you who they are when they're really telling you who they wish they were.
Right. And you can't, there's a saying and there's a wine saying for everything, but you can't have champagne wishes with a $2 Chuck attitude.
Yeah.
You need to
Both my parents were in the house. My mother didn't work until I got to high school. And that was because at that point, they felt like they had built a strong enough foundation educationally and everything else where it was safe for her to work too. So I can definitely relate that. But bottom line, my parents were working as a team. So I don't care how you work as a team, but that's what you need to be doing. So I spent some years being single, and I met, I would say about 10 to 12 women who were recently divorced. And they had been all married for 10 plus years, married to men who took care of all the bills in the house. You know, these women ain't had no money. That when it was time to move and all that, they had to run up their credit card bills because that whole time that their man was providing for them, they was just buying clothes and sneakers and going on girls' trips and things of that nature. And that's not going to move us forward as a culture. That's not going to move us forward as a race. And that ain't even going to move y'all forward as a couple and as a family. And so I think people really need to, ask themselves, what are some of the goals we have for this relationship? What is the mission statement we have for this relationship? And you have to customize it based around the results you want to get. But this idea that something's just going to occur magically when you're not contributing to it or participating in it in any meaningful way is just going to lead to disaster.
Sort of like dudes say the coronavirus is just going to disappear, huh?
Right, magically. One day you're going to wake up and magically.
I like that mission statement. I like that mission statement idea. And Yatu, that's real nice, man, that you and your spouse sit down, man, and create a mission statement for the both of you. Put it somewhere on the wall, man, that you see it every day and remind you, what you want to do with that commitment. Before I ask this last question, Mel, I want to make sure, are we doing anything song wise, music wise tonight? I want to gauge my time properly.
Yeah. I don't know. I ain't get a text from Keisha Rose with my orders. So
with your order, okay. So let me say this, and I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge this. I'm not the president of Inyatu's fan club or nothing, but he said a few things the night that we met, and one of the things, man, it wasn't what he said as much as how he presented. He was the dude I was at one time. I love when men are unapologetic about their desire for romance, their desire for companionship, their desire for love. And he often hashtags, future husband, somebody's future husband, yada, yada, yada. He promotes that thing in a way that a lot of men aren't secure enough to own and say, hey, this is something that I actually want in my life. And I'm not afraid to say that I think I'm good now, but I think I would be even better with the right lady on my side or the right mate, whatever your desire is. But that just really warmed my heart because there was a time when I was that dude. And unfortunately, I let that foolery that you encounter, when you're trying to be as open and vulnerable as you can, and then you encounter the wrong people, that makes you close those pieces that you really want to give people, makes you close them up. It did my heart good to encounter a brother that had not been jaded like I admit that I have. And so that was largely, man, a reason that I wanted you to come on this show, because we don't get a lot of men that will stand flat-footed and say, hey, I want to be somebody's husband. I want to be in that kind of union. I want to be in a marriage. And so I applaud you for not only the way you present yourself and articulated it, but for being that dude, because that really made me feel real good.
So Sean, are you
you are comfortable enough in your manhood to even give a brother a compliment? And let's be real, it took me 40-something years to get to this place. I was jaded for 20 years or better, for sure. And not only that, it's not just something I want for myself. It's something I want for Black culture as a whole, because I understand the power in a real partnership, right? And so I just want to promote some positive energy, because social media and music and TV, there's so much negativity in that narrative that we needed to balance it out. And it's not for everybody, but if we can't come together as just two individuals, a man and a woman, or whatever type of partnership you're creating, then we have no hope of coming together as a whole. So we got to start small right? And then
Yeah, I say all the time, man, that we gotta figure out a way to realize that we're not adversaries, man. You know, we're on the same team, you know, and you know, we're partners, man. We're on the same team, man. So we got to figure out a way to stop treating each other like we're opponents or adversaries, and to me, that's what we've fallen into.
Well, we didn't fall into it. White supremacy designed it this way.
It definitely had its impact, no doubt.
That's a whole different show, bro.
Yeah.
That's a whole different show.
Yeah, we'd have to start that right at 9 o'clock in y'all too. Hey man, we're rounding it down. We got about 3.5, 4 minutes left, man. And so I'm gonna open it up to any of you guys, man. This is gone kind of fast. So anything that you guys wanna get into for a few minutes before we get out of here. We certainly want to thank everybody, man, that's been watching and been supporting us for the last 3 or 4 months. We appreciate you, and our numbers have consistently grown. Kennery said when he said partnership to his ex, it was like he cursed at her.
I saw that. We got to get Kennery back on the show too, because I'm loving his comments. His comments are giving me life.
Yeah, shout out to Kennery, man, who not only came and blessed us, man, but he has been a consistent presence every week, man, in the comments, watching the show. So, you know, I appreciate you, my brother, supporting us, and we know we're gonna get you back on here as well, you know. But yeah, anybody got anything?
I got a
we don't have
blood.
Come on in. Plug it.
I co-authored the book, right? Just came out this week. Me and 11 other black men. 9 men wrote chapters in this book, and 2 other men who are PhDs contributed acknowledgments and things like that into the book. The title of the book is Why He Married Her and Played Me, 9 Insights to What He's Thinking. A young lady by the name of P. Coffee Brown organized this book and reached out to all of the black men that are involved in it. And we just tried to give a lot of insight into how black men and women could connect better. And so the book is on sale. Definitely check it out. Hit me up on my page. But I definitely wanted to give that shameless plug and a shout out to all the other authors who participated in it. I think it's the first time in history that 9 black men came together to write one book. And I think people will get some gems and some jewels out of it. I participated in podcasts with those other gentlemen, and I've learned a lot from them. And I like to see the camaraderie. I like the camaraderie we have right now on this show. And I think we need to keep engaging in this conversation and keep talking about it, because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We talking Martian, they talking Venetian. We need some translation. You know what I'm saying? Communication is the key to any relationship, whether it's 2 people or whether it's, you know, our whole culture. And so I just want to throw that out there, my shame.
What are those platforms again in Yatu that the book can be purchased on?
So it's Amazon and Barnes and Noble, but you can actually get the book directly from the authors. If you know them, that would be helpful to them. If you know me, get the book directly from me. But if you don't know anybody, you're welcome to shoot over to Amazon or shoot over to Barnes and Nobles and grab the book.
Absolutely, man. Once again, man, I can't thank you enough for taking this hour, man, and hanging out with us. You're the only face tonight that hasn't been in the cave before. So collectively, man, we thank you for taking that time and hanging out. I appreciate you honoring my request to come on, man, and chat with us for an hour.
Truly a pleasure. Mel, that's a dope Gale Sayers jersey.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my first hero, my very first hero, man. I remember being a little boy watching Brian's song and crying real tears.
Oh yeah.
You know,
that was good.
That was a good book.
You know, they say, man, that with all the talent we've seen, man, they say there's never been a truer running back than Gale Sayers, dude. They say if you could build a template for the perfect running back, man, they said it would be that dude. He was, you know, and he was a noob, wasn't he, Mel?
Was it?
I think he was a noob. I think he was a noob.
Let's see.
Mel, you better do your homework. Shout out to Tim Sayers. I actually went to high school with Gale Sayers' son, Tim Sayers. So shout out to him. My condolences to you about your pops. Represent the legacy. I see you got a family, you know what I mean? Keep it cracking, but you're in my prayers. And I'm glad to see us celebrating Gale Sayers. Definitely.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mel, but I think he was. Glenn, you got anything for us?
Also, another legend died a few days ago, Bob Gibson. One of the greatest pitchers in baseball history.
Yeah.
Seriously, intimidating. MVP, 1968, two-time Cy Young Award winner, like a 9 or 10-time All-Star Baseball Hall of Famer. I know he was a Cardinal for the Cubs. I know you're upset about that, but he was amazing. He was one of the first real power pitchers that just, overpowering. He had like an ERA of 2 or something. Really low. So rest in peace. He passed away. I think it was Thursday. Other than that, again, I said it at the beginning. Thank you all for following us. Please tag and tell friends about this show. Our numbers are going up. We want to keep them going. There's some great opportunities for everybody that comes through this show. Where we are so happy to support. Jose, his great acting career, all the things he's doing, and Yatu, his book, and everybody that comes on. We just really appreciate everybody listening and engaging. We'd love to have your ideas for shows, questions that you'd like to ask us. Please send those to us as well. Follow Indie TV. They're making this possible for us all. So,
and no matter what you think or hear, man, I am constantly told by women in particular that they value this hour and that they value this effort and that they appreciate our willingness to be candid, even if it's at times crass and primitive, as long as it's authentic. There are some that are going to be resistant to it because they want men to be what they want men to be. They don't want men to be what they are. So they're going to be resistant to that. But there are some that want the authentic man, and they want to get to know the authentic man so that they can better respond to him. And so for those people, we certainly send our thank yous for supporting us and having our back and tuning in every week. Jose, I haven't hit you real hard because of the delay that's going on with you, man. But I'd love you to, say something to us before we get ready to get out of here, man.
You got it, brother. I just wanted to thank everybody, Anyatu, Mel, Sean, Glenn. I love you, brothers, man. You guys speak from the heart. Keep it that way. Let's spread love, compassion, and joy and positivity. Do not spread hatred, racism, negativity, or anger. Do not do that shit. I want to thank everybody who's coming out to support the first Latino cast movie in history, Concrete Rose, where I played Gabriel. So I appreciate your love, all you guys sharing the trailer. This movie's going to come out. It's about to blow people's mind. It's the first ever all Latino cast movie in the history. All them other ones, they had white actors, black actors, Chinese actors, all acting Latino. This is the actual very first all Latino cast, star-studded movie, Concrete Rose. And I want to give a shout out to John Villanueva, who brought me on board. And I was only doing a cameo. And I ended up in the whole damn movie.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Before we get out of here, I'm going to see if I can get a production team to do something for me. Are you guys able to throw up the name and link to last week's song playlist we created? Because I know that it went out, but I don't think everybody got it. So this was one that we ironically did without our resident DJ on set because he was being super dad as usual and out of town. But we had that song list created. I think it was a dance. It was a dance themed song list.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna post it in the thing. I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gone for a week. So y'all steal my idea and do it without me.
No,
Boy,
man, we massaged it in your honor, brother. We massaged it in your honor.
They gave you credit last week. They don't have
Right.
They moved it all up.
Hours now. Yeah.
You know what you did when I was gone. You know what you did.
And I also want to, one more person. I want to thank my publicist, Jenna, and she's kicking ass out there in California, man. She's kicking ass for me. She's opening up doors that some people never would open up. So, Hey, Jenna, thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
Where can we catch the movie?
All the hard work.
Where can we find the movie?
It's coming out the end of this year. We're gonna do it. But if you want to look up on Instagram, Facebook, on my pages, my actor page, Instagram official_actor Jay Santiago, on Facebook Jose Santiago Jr. It's all on the trailer, And the big date, we already got the theater, but we can't do nothing until this COVID crap's over.
Right.
So.
Of course.
Good deal. While Glenn is looking for that, man, I'm going to take a minute, man, to shout out to everybody that's watching, man. I often talk about my buddy, man, that I lost 2 years ago on October the 2nd. The second year anniversary of his passing was yesterday, man. And so to everybody that's watching that knew my man Steve-O, I just want to say, love, boy. We are all still trying to get through this thing without you, but we miss you, man, and we never stop thinking about you, for sure. Glenn, did you find that? Were you able to find it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to post it in a second, or I'll have Roger send it out to people. But yeah,
okay, we'll have Rod send it out, man, so that we don't belabor the hour. I want to thank you guys, man, once more. And Yatu, I can't thank you enough, man, for accepting my invitation. You know, this is about the 15th or 16th week, man. I think that I've asked like 3 people to come on, and you were the only person that I did not have an existing relationship with. So that lets you know, man, how impressed I was with you. Look, when they were looking for you, Roz was like, text him and tell him we're ready for him to come on. I said, man, I don't have a cell phone. I don't know him that well, you know.
The playlist has been posted, guys. The playlist is
posted. Having me on. Pleasure to work with you in the future. And if you gentlemen don't mind, I've been part of some podcasts. They're always looking for positive men to be a part of. So if you guys don't mind me throwing your names in the hat, I'd be happy to do that.
Hey, that's how we met, man. And I know these cats would be just as eager, man, and would bring some great insight as well. So we have the link to the non-male involved playlist. But that's all right. You know, hey, dude, you do all of them. This was just one that you weren't involved.
Good. It's all good.
And it was a really good one too, Mel. So don't feel too bad.
We thought about you the whole time. But at any rate, hey man, this has been live from the cave. I appreciate you guys. Thanks everybody for watching. I think there's some conversations that need to happen. So guys, don't go anywhere, but we're gonna say goodbye to everybody watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time live at the cave. For sure.
Deuces.